Damn, look at all of these hustle PFPs, dude, in the crowd.
I was just gonna say, where's yours? You
I
waiting for
know.
the official PFP generator? What is
It's coming, man. I saw the devs yesterday building a PFP generator for Hustle. Pretty cool, man. Starting an army. But is that so trench? I like trenches. I hadn't seen this one before. It is the Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's sick.
The Bitcoin I almost said armadillo, but it's not armadillos.
Hmm.
Is honey badgers.
Right.
First 10K collection. That's part of the drama.
I think Crypto Warrior started it, to be honest. He's got a sick one too. So cool to see them both in here. Mine's decent. You know, shout out to Bratoshi. Crushed it. We'll see what the official ones look like. But there's a movement going on over here. There's a hustle movement going on over here.
Yeah. I hope so. We're working with the R tracker team. I think that's where the PFP generator will be published through when it's done. Looks good. So once that product's live, then I'll switch my PFP unless they take forever. And then hopefully we can start everyone. It's great advertisement, right?
Yes, sir.
So what's good, man? Adam, I think, is showing up late today. The Launchpad wars continue to increase in scale. All of a sudden, we announced the what was it, Project Ascend, the rewards for Pump Fund. You know, I was looking into it the other day, maybe that was last night. And, you know, they increased the fees for if you trade between, I think it's like 80,000 to 300,000. So like from bonding to 300 or maybe 500K, the fee's 1.25% on a trader. I saw a lot of traders pissed about this.
That's the only way that they can increase rewards. You know, we increased rewards. We also increased fees. That's it's always a catch-22. There's never any free money like that, you know?
It reminds me a lot of the inverse of last cycle. With NFT marketplaces, it was a race to zero for fees, right? Everyone kept trying to drop the fees. First, they dropped creator royalties, and then Blair came in, or maybe it was LooksRare came in and did 0% fees plus tokenomics, and then Blair came in and did even bigger Ponzi. OpenSea stuck to 2.5%. Ultimately, they maybe have ended up winning, but now it seems like this cycle with Launchpad, it's a little different. And all these launchpads are now increasing fees, all of them, right? Like the Heaven launchpad is 1.5% swap fees, and that's not even just swap fees. It's even transfer fees as well on the extension. Pump Fund's now raising the fees, and I guess that's, you know, I guess at what point does it really, you know, explode, or at what point do traders just say fuck this and we just move to a different ecosystem? Because I was reading some of the posts under the Pump Fund account of the announcement, and one of the traders was like, well, it looks like I'm gonna have to stop trading pump tokens because you have it's 1.25% to pump, 1% to the trading bot that they're using, right? So like Telegram or something like that. And then there's an aggregator fee on top of that of like 0.5%, I think, or maybe a little bit less. So they're like losing close to 3% on every trade, which if you're a trader, that cuts into the margins pretty heavy. I mean, granted, meme coin traders, like 3% is nothing when you're trading, you know, when you're trying to hit like the jackpot and make, you know, 1,000% kind of gains. But does this explode at some time, or do the fees just slowly continue to increase as migrations happen and people are going to have to continue to incentivize? Like, is there any other way around this outside of just continuing to jack the price up?
It's kind of interesting because they increased fees to give away more money. You know what I mean? So it'd be like OpenSea increasing the royalty or their transaction fee, their marketplace fee, to give more to the creator, and instead of just going straight to zero. I think it's over a long enough timeline, it all goes to zero or closer to zero. Companies like, you know, Pump can afford this for a while. Maybe Bunk can too. We'll have to see. But I mean, even for like larger businesses, you know, a couple $100 million, it's really difficult to build like a big mainstream product. You know, you're still going to have to raise more money. It's not like that's all the money that you're going to need to build out like a huge mainstream product. So we'll see how much they can afford to give out. But I mean, you see it with like Kick and some of these other streaming platforms, how much they're able to kind of subsidize the streamer in order to onboard more users. I mean, some of these contracts are hundreds of millions, right? Just for a single streamer. So we'll have to see. We're still such a niche market. This is good for crypto. You know, this is how, I don't know if the fees is how we get people to crypto, but you know, these companies getting into streaming, branching out, trying to target more audiences. When's the last time we tried to actually target new people as an industry rather than hoping just new people find us? So it's kind of a ground up strategy. So kind of interesting.
Bonk announced that they're partnering with Kick. They also partnered with World Liberty Fi with USD1. It seems like right now the battle is Pump trying to build the full vertical stack and just completely own it end to end, versus Bonk is trying to partner up all the way to the top from end to end. Which strategy works better long term?
It depends on the deal that they made with Kick, but I think probably partnering so that you can focus on just getting people on your platform. Hoping, I would assume that there's, you know, maybe a year, 2-year contract, 3-year contract, and then renegotiation afterwards. And then maybe at that point you decide to build your own. But going from scratch is like extremely difficult and obviously really expensive when someone like Kick is already subsidizing a lot of the costs probably, and plus they have a lot of streamers. So, you know, if, you know, some of their streamers just want to come on board, see what it's like to launch a token or have tokenized streaming, I think that that's like more of an interesting model rather than having like the cold start problem of starting from zero and trying to bounce all the way up like Pump. But I don't know. We'll have to see. What do you think?
They're building a brand. Kind of what I see happening is Pump is building an army of, I guess you call it KOLs, but it's really more just streamers, right? And it does seem like the crypto influence is beginning to extend and permeate across the world and have much larger impact. Maybe because crypto Twitter, right, is like a big thing, and because the voice of crypto personalities can echo much louder through Twitter than anything else, and that's kind of like where the town square is. I think Pump has like an actual pretty big shot at doing this. They've been doing pretty well with the buybacks and the revenue. There's still, I mean, you look at like the fees between Pump and Bonk, and it's just like astronomical difference. Bonk though has, I think, upended Pump a few times, which is healthy, right? That's like actually signs of an early trend that they're going to. But I think they both will potentially have their place. Bonk kind of, I proposed this question yesterday, maybe a few days ago. It with Pump now leaning into creator coins, right? Because the creators that just launched, they're getting more fees and such. You're going to see just a ton of new creator coins or streamer coins, whatever they're calling it, pop up on Pump. And I think this leaves an opportunity for Bonk Fund to capture the ICM markets, because tech projects are not going to want to sit around and be in the same category as streamer coins, right? It's a completely different market. And we already see this through Migrate Fund that there's 5 to 10 ICM projects that are moving over to Bonk. So I think that's kind of what's going to happen here is Bonk's going to come in, and yes, they partnered with Kick, but it seems like the tech companies are starting to leave because they don't want to be in that situation. Unless Pump Fund has like a strategy that they haven't rolled out yet. I think there's some room for taking. And then the question becomes what's a larger market? ICM, which is tech, or creator coins, which is streamer coins. You know, I'm one to believe it's more tech coins, but on Solana, where everything is attention focused and short term, I would not be surprised if creator coins end up becoming like the most valuable asset class at some point in time. But that would have to happen because Pump is basically perpetuating it and pushing their narrative and getting people to participate in the idea, which they've put now $1 billion into it, I guess, right? Or they made $1 billion last year in revenue. They just did a 1.1 or 1.2 billion in their ICO, and they're basically just backing up the truck to try to, I guess, make Solana a creator coin market.
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, the creator coins, I see them all kind of hovering at or near zero anyway. I mean, even I see, you know, there's like a creator I follow on TikTok who literally is on there every day. He's on TikTok. Anytime I open TikTok, dude's on there streaming, man. Bro, his coin's at like 30 grand, right? On Pump. Like it's like a nothing burger. So I honestly don't know where that's going to go with the price of the tokens themselves. I think the big deal with Bonk was the kick announcement. Like that just to me is like, wow, this team's got themselves. They're together. Like that they made that partnership happen. It's huge. Like I can't imagine that Pump wasn't trying to make that deal happen. Right. I mean, I understand Pump wanted to do it maybe themselves, but to not be able to, Kick and Twitch are the two biggies, and that Pump was able to land Kick. I just think it's huge.
You mean Bonk?
Or sorry, that Bonk was able to land Kick is huge. Whether this thing has any legs at all together and it's going to work in any way, that feels to me like the win. Like I know Pump's got the money and stuff, but all the kids, they watch Kick, man. They're on Kick. My kid's on Kick. Like Kick or Twitch. Nobody's fucking watching Pump Fun. And I don't know. It feels like that to me of all the announcements, that was like, holy shit. Bigger than the, Trump shit for Bonk. This was like actually, wow, that was a huge win for them.
They got some power within the World Liberty Fi partnership, and then they got some distribution into Web 2 with the Kick announcement. So it's kind of like a three-way partnership going there. Yeah. It was we talked about the World Liberty Fi and Radium partnership last show. But then we saw yesterday, I think there's a World Liberty Fi launchpad that's launching now called like America.
Fun. I mean, I don't know. I looked, I didn't see any like confirmation that it was owned by World Liberty Fi.
I don't think it. I think it's just it's like an association. It's like the World Liberty Fi.
It's like their first advisor is like the founder of America Fund, I believe. But I think that none of this works without the launchpad working. Like the launchpad is the product, and like the way that I would see it is if they have like unique levers to pull. Like some of these streamers, none of them know anything about crypto. If you're Pump Fun or if you're Bonk Fun, you say, well, if you want to come on my platform, I'll put you in an alpha chat, or I'll put you in kind of a training wheels chat. Get some early alpha. They start making some money. That's like a positive feedback loop where other streamers want to come and not only monetize through the platform and their own token, but making money on other tokens. And obviously, it is an insider's game, right? I mean, there's no question about it. A lot of these tokens have no reason to be running, and a lot of them are running like crazy just out of the blue. So you get some streamers. Everyone in the world wants the early alpha, right? So you get some of the streamers making some money on the platform. It's like a positive feedback loop to really get them streaming on the platform and recommend that others get streaming on the platform to get kind of in these alpha chats and making some money. So I don't think any of it happens without the launchpad. So at the end of the day, whoever has the strongest launchpad wins, in my opinion. That's why that's the core of the business.
Yeah, it's a good time to be Meteora and Radium because they're just having all kinds of launchpads built on top of them. I am assuming that America is building on top of Launch Lab, where in Meteora's sense, you have like Believe and Bags and Slurf, and there's like a handful of other ones, some that we've talked with as well. And Pump is just right. It's closed source. That's where I'm saying like they just try to do it end to end. There is like a Pump SDK. It's not that great, to be honest, to build with. Like they have like the bare minimum. Maybe they change that, or maybe it's purposely done because they just want to own the whole thing, kind of end to end. It's funny because we find ourselves with Migrate Fund in a similar situation to Emblem a few years, where it's just like more L2s, the more interoperability, the more launch pads, the more migrations will probably happen. The question is, when do the incentives run out, and when does the consolidation period happen, where all the like lower tier or inefficient launch pads just get wiped out or bought, or they just slowly die, whatever the case is. I guess that's really the question. Who really knows at this point in time? But I think the launchpad wars are evolving, actually. Like the launchpad's like, as Chris said, like the base foundation of whatever it is to become, where it looks like Bonk and Pump are now going to compete in the same realm of streaming. But I would assume that these other launchpads, and Adam, I've said this to a few of these different launchpads that we've talked with, that you got to be able to offer something new that these teams want, whether it's social support, streaming, money, Although most of the time it seems like social support. Like that's just like the bread and butter of Solana.
Everyone, no, they. I mean, at the core, they all want number go up. Like
Right.
perfectly fine to have no social support as long as my price pumps, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, if anybody can make that happen, maybe they should. Maybe we could do a launch pad where for half of every day you can't sell the coin, right? It would be like that sort of like there are only small windows that randomly appear during the day where you could actually sell the coin. Do something like that. That would be a game changer, man.
We're
Number go up.
removing the sell button. This was always
The sell button goes away
the
for
launch.
23 out of 24 hours a day.
That's funny. It does seem like, I don't know, like Pump was the first mover. They have the most money as far as I know. But it feels like Bonk has the best pipeline. You see, or maybe they're louder about it, but you see them purposefully getting these coins on exchanges, big exchanges, Bybit, Coinbase, all over the place. And I don't see that Pump has that same kind of motion. So, and maybe I'm just seeing it because I'm closer with Bonk and they're more purposefully loud about it. But from what I can tell, the tokens are moving to Bonk in one direction, as far as I can tell. And they have a lot of social support and they have a lot of exchange support. And then now with Kick, that's like a major partner that they're going to have more support from. So their business development team is all-star over there. Hats off to them.
Hats off to them in the wonderful world of Solana itself. That the migrations will continue. We're excited for that. There's really no updates with Migrate Fund right now. Audit is auditing. We've told all of our teams when there will be onboarding and when the launch is, and we'll continue from that world. With Hustle, we announced subscriptions. We've been doing some scaling, and we've been working on a few solutions for this conditional engine that seems to always have some small issues, but I think we're getting closer to the end, man. And context engineering is a crazy concept, man. It reminds me a lot of biohacking and mind hacking. At the end of the day, we'll continue to work on that. Had some good calls and partnerships. I think Adam and I are talking with tons of different blockchains. Tons. I think we've talked about like 5 maybe so far. It's kind of interesting to hear the different strategies or lack of strategies that some of these chains have when it comes to AI. Like there's some that are like kind of all in, and there's some that just like literally do not care at all.
Total zero. Nothing burger. Yeah, it's interesting to see what strategy or don't non-AI strategy they have. And also interesting to see how the people we talk with, varying degrees of expertise in blockchains, which is really interesting to see. You see, I mean, it's crazy to me, but somebody in business development for a major blockchain who literally like doesn't know much about blockchains is stunning. But
it's very common.
Very common. It's crazy.
Very common.
One of my favorite things is that we have something to offer everyone, whether the conversation starts with Migrate Fun and then we show them Hustle, or then we show them Emblem Ball and they're like, whoa, all right, cool. Or we show them Hustle and then we show them Migrate Fun and they're like, whoa, this is kind of like more of what we're interested in. So with Emblem, there's just like such a big product suite that I think is like there's something for everyone, and it's much deeper than most people actually realize.
Yep. More on that soon. But Hustle continuing to grind. It's going to be a big September. I think a big October too. It'll spill over till October and into the rest of the year. We also hired a new backend developer to work on Hustle, who started
Let's
this
go.
week. So generally takes about a month from my experience to onboard devs to get them to learn the ecosystem and the code base and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going pushing full forward into the world of expansion to EVM, to Bitcoin, to everything else. Today, Tempo was announced by Stripe. They're really going all in. They partnered with Paradigm, and they're calling it a payments blockchain. Where have we heard this before? And do we think they're going to have some success? They basically came in and said that Stripe peaks at more than 10,000 TPS, and they say that Solana only gets 1K TPS. So it seems like they are diving more into we're a faster blockchain than you, which seems to be the same case for the last 10 years. Will they have hit? They obviously have distribution, but will they be an efficient blockchain operator? I think is a big question.
Do we have, all right, this is the first time I'm seeing it. Do we have any details on how they're creating it?
So this is tweeted by Patrick Carlson, who's the, I think, CEO or co-founder. Yeah, CEO. No, he basically just says high throughput, low latency, right? That's the thing that totally says like pretty much every day. He comes in to say, right, that Stripe has 10 times more TPS than Base and Solana, and that the Tempo team has 15 people. And it says that the Tempo is going to serve a broad array of needs, and they're working with Anthropic, Deutsche Bank, DoorDash, Mercury, OpenAI, Shopify, and Visa as initial design partners. So it's a bunch of
DoorDash on the blockchain, huh? That's good.
DoorDash on the block. I mean, is the chain going to be basically a stable coin, right? And then this is all stable coin payments, or interesting, to see what happens here. It makes sense to me, you know.
Like you can always have low latency when you run all the nodes. You know, they don't have to they don't have to be validated anymore. They're all validated right next to each other, right in the front office. So that's easy to do, but to have like actually even semi-decentralized network with low latency is extremely difficult globally. So they have to, all the nodes have to communicate with each other, verify the transactions, and then pass them through, rather than, you know, in the front office, they're on the servers all next to each other, just passing them back and forth. So it's always kind of like marketing word gimmicks here. It's crazy that we've been doing it for so long. A payments blockchain. I used to just know that as a blockchain, but
we just kind of knew that as Bitcoin, but
exactly. You know, that was the first blockchain. We're still reinventing words to describe the same thing 15 years later. Cool to see.
Yeah, we'll see. Also, Fireblocks announced that they're launching a stablecoin payments network with 40 firms. So Fireblocks is non-custodial or custodial wallet solution that a bunch of teams have built on. Everyone literally just going all in on stablecoins. But I guess the question is, you know, who sits better? I guess this would be a better question. The Trump family with USD1, Stripe with their, I guess their new blockchain called Tempo with their stablecoin infrastructure that they acquired, Bridge, and they also acquired Privy, the wallet infrastructure. So are they sitting pretty? Does Google come in? Or, you know, is it best? So is it better to be like stablecoin issuer? Do we want like a full blockchain? And I guess is there more room to grow in the stablecoin market at this point in time? It feels like everything is already saturated to beyond belief.
No way.
No, I don't think so either. I think there's tons of
hundreds of trillions.
Yeah.
Even like Stripe themselves, they are their own biggest customer for their own stablecoin. Globally distributed payments, they like literally own payments on the end user. USD1, like I think that they're just happy to make money with it. You know, I don't know if anyone's going to use it. They don't have the type of infrastructure that allows them to make billions of dollars by just using it themselves, whereas Stripe themselves actually do. I'd much rather be Stripe here, without a doubt.
I agree. Yeah, totally. Because they have the end, you know, point of sale infrastructure built out already that they connect into. That's the issue I see with like World LibertyFi or any new, you know, whatever was Wyoming, right? Who needs it if it doesn't have the infrastructure built out? How are you going to convince people to use your stablecoin? Very difficult. So yeah, I'd give the advantage to Stripe for sure.
Not only are they able to make money off it, they're able to save money on their infrastructure costs wherever they're moving all this money. The faster transactions, the lower transaction costs. So it's kind of a two-way street for Stripe, where, I mean, we don't have the full detail of what USD1 is, but they just don't have like the distribution that someone like Stripe would have. I mean, it's such a massive company that moves so much money around daily.
Outside of stablecoins, there's been a new phenomena that's been getting some attention. It's been kind of around for a little while, but Seems like because it's on Solana now that it's getting a lot of attention, and it's called Pokemon cards. So just
funny, bro. I literally tweeted yesterday. I was like, hasn't Courtyard been doing this and crushing it for like 2 years? And like, here we are back to Pokemon.
it's because it's on Solana, and it has like Solana has the attention, right? Solana is where all the Zoomer KOLs are, who can just kind of perpetuate a message and continue to post it into oblivion. Whereas Courtyard's on Base, and Base has a community, but it doesn't have the youth like Solana does to get that echoing and going viral. But Courtyard, I saw it was like $78 million in volume. Like it was like last month or the last quarter or something like that. Or maybe it was this year. Like tons of volume. But these new products that are on Solana, one's called the Collector Crypt, and then also Fidgetals has been getting some traction. Is this where the NFT market is moving to now? Everyone's going to say, screw CryptoPunks, screw Mooncats, and screw all your PFPs. We're going to start tokenizing all of our real world cards and trading these through the NFTs. If anything, it's onboarding new people to the industry because you're getting Pokemon cards coming in. How far does this continue? And is this going to be the quote unquote prediction markets meta, right? or is it as profound as prediction markets, as I've been seeing on some on some posts and some headlines?
I've been calling the Pokemon top for like a month now. This feels very, very toppy to me. Like
no,
listen. You saw that guy yesterday on Thread Space talking about how you buy the cards and you're automatically up, guaranteed you're up. It's like, bro, that's not the way retail works, bro. I mean, this is like the thing, which is like, there's a difference in price from like wholesale price to retail. And to think, I mean, this is just more dumping on retail. I don't know, man. I'm just, at some point, this breaks where, you know, people, I think with this and what you're seeing is you're going to see more liquidity in the Pokemon market, and then you're going to see price fall, and then this all kind of collapses. But maybe we're not there yet, but this does not end well, bro. I mean, Pokemon's still printing all these cards. I see prac breaks literally 24/7 on TikTok. Like eventually this comes tumbling down, man.
Everything has an
bro,
end.
I'm just saying the top feels closer than not.
I mean, like Bored Apes were selling for like $1 million a piece. Like, do you remember Top Shot? It literally went on for like a year straight in complete like mania before they could print enough cards to crash the market. Maybe Pokemon hasn't learned from their mistakes. Maybe they'll do the same thing. But I mean, we've been looking at this all year. April 4th, I tweeted, looks like digital Pokemon cards are the next major onboarding event for NFTs, 2021 Top Shot vibes. That feels like that's exactly what this is. And it feels like this is going to get massive. Like, what are the biggest sales? I mean, unless you see like a ultra rare double dark Charizard selling for $12 million, I don't think that the top is in. I think that's the only way that the top gets put in.
So you don't think we've learned from last cycle where people are going to be, it's not going to get to that?
People have been learning for like 80 years. Like, there's been bubbles since the beginning of time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that no, people haven't learned. That's the best part.
Looking at this chart from Masari. So in the month of August, Courtyard still dominating, $80 million, $78 million in August. Collector Crypt, this is the one that's on Solana, $44 million. And Fidgetals is at $2 million, and Emporium at $136,000. It looks like in January, the total volume of RWA Pokemon cards was 20 mil. Now it's 125 million.
How sick is that? I mean,
7 months later. Yeah.
That's everything we've ever wanted, to trade our Pokemon cards online with all of our boys.
Pokemon cards. It's the rare Papes of the physical world.
Collector Crypt did just have their TGE, so a lot of that trading is incentivized, and Courtyard did not. So, by far and wide, Courtyard is like the dominant player in the space. It's actually not even close.
Interesting. Yeah, there's also a few other kind of cards that are going on. There's one that's called like Rip.Fun, which I've seen, which is like ripping open different types of cards. I don't know if it's just Pokemon cards or if it's like a combination of other things. There's also I've seen like our buddies over at On-Chain Revolution have Magic Raz. So it does seem like this like gamification of NFTs is
But
the
I mean,
next layer, which is something we've been talking about for a while.
we talked about including digital Pokemon cards in that new product that we've been working on. We've been kind of seeing this for a while. If you're an NFT buyer, if you're an NFT collector, this is like exactly what you want to see. You want to introduce all of the older Pokemon card traditional traders into digital pools of capital that see that everything can become a digital collectible. And then that makes natively digital collectibles that more enticing because they're digital first, which is actually crazy.
Like it's surprising in the same way that like the other day when we were talking about like fantasy football, that hasn't really come into crypto yet. It's surprising to me that Pokemon, which is super obvious and now is here, that there hasn't been a move to, traditional baseball, basketball, football cards. Like, how has that not happened yet? Just pointing out what is clearly an obvious opportunity for somebody to do right. Like it's obvious. It'll happen. Just a question of when.
When is the question? So is it going to lead to other cards being tokenized? Digimon cards, Pogs, random collectibles like that? Or is it just going to be, or are we just going to get all of the Pokemon cards? It'd be interesting is if this trend continues with Pokemon cards, any of these cards could have literally millions of copies. So to actually kind of try to figure out what the real supply is, is going to be, I think, is somewhat more interesting, right?
Because the internet will figure it out, right? It's like, would you rather sell your car at like the local dealership, or would you sell it online to literally millions or billions of buyers? And so, like, even if the supply is bigger, like the natural demand is able to be much bigger because the market size and the pool size is so much bigger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is there leverage on Pokemon cards yet? Like, this is early. I think the Pokemon.
I do think I agree with you, Chris, but I do think there's a difference though with physical cards in that the actual price is obfuscated because it's difficult to trade. So I'll give you the perfect example. Gary V does his like pack rips for V friends. Oh my God, I got the rare. Blah, blah, blah. Right? How do I buy the rare? Well, you got to go on like eBay to buy the rare. Right? So in a lot of ways, Gary's able to control that market because he can literally buy up the rares. Right? Gary spends a couple $100,000, buys up all the rares. Rares are super expensive. So people keep ripping those packs because you're trying to get the rare, right? While if it's all traded as NFTs, that frictionless experience of buying and selling, you'll get real price discovery kind of quicker.
But that's like happening anyways, right? Like these collectors are trying to buy these rares so that they can like slate them themselves in these slabs and put them online to get the bigger pools of capital. So like the total supply will ever actually never be known because you'll have huge chunks of these ultra rare cards in the hands of a single digit amount of collectors, and they'll be putting them online themselves, kind of like cornering the market. People have been cornering markets since literally the beginning of time.
Yep.
I'm bullish on Pokemon.
Bullish. Another cool headline I saw today from a crypto native was that Breakout app, which was created by two crypto OGs, Trader Main and Crypto Cred, I think was the other one, selling today to Kraken. Chris, what's your thoughts on a crypto native product getting acquired by a crypto native company?
Well, pretty nuts. I mean, as far as I know, they've only been building Breakout for like 6 months. It was just like a crypto trading prop shop.
Can you explain what that is, if you know?
Yeah, basically they just you're trading based on your skill level. They front you the money and you keep a certain percentage of the profits, and then like a small amount goes back to the actual person that you funded. And like the higher tier that you get, the more kind of capital you unlock from a diverse group of investors. So basically you're trading other people's money and you can keep some of it. And the better that you trade, the more money you're able to keep. And then you kind of build like a guild, like massive teams of traders or whatever within the platform. That's what I'm guessing. And then looks like Kraken was able to kind of onboard all those traders and I guess their infrastructure. But as far as I know, they've only been building it for like 6 or maybe 8 months. So hopefully they got a good number, but love to see a crypto native acquisition. So shout out to Maine.
Incredible that they were able to make that happen so quickly. I mean, I remember when these guys launched. It was only a couple months ago, it seems like. Incredible. And I don't know if it's this move into like, you know, perps trading, which Coinbase just announced and stuff. It's yeah, the quickening is happening, bro. It's like incredible.
It's a ton of M&A happening in the industry. Incredible. Tons. So some notes from Breakout app. So it says that Breakout's been empowering skilled traders since 2023. So maybe they were in like private beta, like seems like every team is for years. Breakout's issued over 20,000 funded accounts since 2023. It says that traders can put real weight behind their ideas with funded account sizes up to 100,000 and up to 5x leverage. You know what this reminds me of is in poker, they have something like this where you basically pay for somebody's buy-in and then they get it split 50-50 or whatever the kind of or whatever like the amount is.
Like bankroll or sponsor other players.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that. Kind of cool gamification there, which I thought was kind of interesting. So congrats to them. In other news, it just came out today. World LibertyFi is blacklisting. This is just rumor stuff, kind of funny. World LibertyFi is blacklisting Justin Sun's address.
Come on. No, that's got to be a joke, bro. Really?
It's from Zoomer. Zoomerfied. So World LibertyFi blacklists Justin Sun's address, locking 540 million in unlocked tokens and 2.4 billion in locked tokens, and say they believe an exchange has been using user tokens to sell and push down the price.
Bro, that can't be true, bro. No way, bro.
They're just going to throw Justin under the bus for the token price being down.
No. Well, I wouldn't put it past Justin. But you never know.
The guy is like the GOAT.
This could be fake news, but my gut tells me this is true.
He's behind every scandal or every like hot point of the industry in some roundabout way, but he survives. You know, he finds a way to survive.
Amazing. He is
one of the GOATs.
He is the slipperiest motherfucker on the planet, bro. That guy is legendary status.
Like you got to give him credit for how slip. Like I mean, he is. Anytime there's a
man appeal slippery, bro.
Oh, I love it. I love the guy.
That's crazy. That's
crazy. What do you think, Jake? What's your opinion on this, Jake?
Just Justin doing Justin things, man. It doesn't change. This guy just weasels his way into deals and tries to weasel his way out. Our exchange is selling and stuff. I don't know. I think people are just dumping. I mean, the people sized into World LibertyFi with at least $1 million. You had to do at least $1 million, upwards of 10 to 50 mil, and then all of a sudden the token is up 10, 20x. Like, what do you expect's gonna happen? You don't think people are gonna fucking dump this into oblivion?
What's that meme? The price is not going down naturally.
Maybe we should reach out to World LibertyFi and tell them, hey, we could give you a fresh chart if you want to migrate it over with your users.
When migration, man.
They could use one. That shit is ugly.
That looks, it looks terrible. One of my predictions earlier this year or in December was that still not looking that great, but some signs of life was that OpenSea was going to have like a big innovation this year. It seems like they're kind of pivoting now to become a NFT and fungible token exchange, but they're doing it through like a branded means. They just announced 20 minutes ago that OpenSea is now the official marketplace for Pudgy Penguins and Pengu token. So Defenzer, who's the CEO, said a few years ago we were an NFT marketplace. Today we're home for all on-chain assets, and they still don't have ordinals or the Bitcoin ecosystem. When we launched OS2, we didn't just rebuild the platform. We reimagined what it means to exchange everything on-chain, NFT tokens, and everything in one place. You guys think this is a nothing burger, or does OpenSea have much larger plans and also landing penguins to be the official marketplace for the Pudgy ecosystem? Although it's a decentralized world, so I don't know. What does this mean here?
I mean, if you're a digital marketplace, you sell digital items. It's not. I don't think that like there's too much innovation. I did hop on like yesterday to see what kind of Courtyard was doing on OpenSea. Have you guys been on the new OpenSea?
I have not in a
Oh,
long
bro, it
time.
is like literal AIDS on my eye. I mean, like, I would be like an advanced trader. I have no idea what was going on there. Maybe it's just because it's so different from what it used to be. Like, where are you even supposed to look? And then the left hand column, just everything was just a mess for me. Wasn't able to even find basically like where's Courtyard? Courtyard's like their biggest, one of their always top volume collections. Wasn't even able to find it. But I mean, if you're a digital items marketplace, you sell digital items. So I don't think that there's anything shocking here. You think of how much Pudgy Penguins volume has done on OpenSea. I think that there was leverage to get a partnership there, but I don't think that this changes anything. But I do think that OpenSea will be around and stay around, and obviously get acquired for a huge number. I mean, they've survived this long, but I mean, I'm not like impressed by anything that they're doing. I think that they're just kind of doing the status quo, like what you would have to do to kind of move at a snail's pace in somewhat of the right direction.
Yeah, look at this Courtyard. Look at this Courtyard feed. There's literally a new
Every
sale or mint every second.
Literally
There's multiple.
14 seconds ago, and the page is full. The Courtyard sales are going bonkers.
This is a sale for 90, right? A mint. I think the mints are like the ripping up in the packs or such. Like these guys are just printing all kinds of money. Good for them. We had them on the show like 2 years ago, something
Good
like
guys.
that.
Good guys.
Yeah. Courtyard. Pokemon cards all come in together. I don't know what's else even left in this market right now. It's weird because every time I open up the oh, it looks like Adam just lost power in his Costa Rica house. So
Totally power. I'm on
We
cell
got him.
phone right now, man.
There he is.
it happens at least once a month. We gotta get in the Costa Rica power outage. Every time I open the feed, it feels like it's a bear market, although the prices are like way significantly up. Is it because everyone is just tired and exhausted from buying everything the last few months? Are we actually headed to a bear market with all of the positive things that are just over the horizon? Guys, what do you think? Where do you think we stand right now? Current market structure and what the outlook looks like for the rest of the year.
I think that there's a lot of bear market PTSD. I think people forgot like what crypto can do. And I think a lot of crypto natives just don't have any money left. I think that they got wrecked on NFTs. I think they got wrecked on liquid tokens, meme coins. And I mean, ETH is like hovering around all-time highs. Bitcoin's over 100,000. This is like, I mean, these were prices where if they got back there or if they ever got here, pretty much any of us would have made it, right? And like, you know, that those were the visions. Now we're here, we're comfy, but everyone else is just like absolutely in like disheveled. And so I think that they just don't have any money left. And I think it's more of a non-crypto natives market than a crypto natives market. I mean, you see Tom Lee going to every investment fund and saying Ethereum's going to $60,000. Can it go? I don't know. Maybe it goes to 60,000, but I think 15,000 or 20,000 is doable. And like, what is the timeline going to look like that? The same that it'll look like now, because they don't own any. They don't own any of this stuff. They just come and make memes online. So I think it'll always look like a bear market here because nobody owns any of the stuff that they talk about all day.
Yeah, meme coins don't make great altcoins, right? I think we've learned that in this cycle. And so, yeah, betting on meme coins just doesn't have this, like, nobody's in it. Nobody believes in anything. Nobody has long-term vision. And so the majority of crypto Twitter has been, to Chris's point, just completely left out of this bull cycle. Totally.
Sidelined? Where's that guy at? We need the app SGCR. Sidelined.
We need.
I missed that guy. I'm gonna have to look him up and see what he's up to.
That is actually pretty funny.
What do you think, Jake? Where's your head at?
Yeah, I'm kind of under the same opinion. I also think like just the growth of all of the different L2s and how the different chains have kind of commoditized certain generations. It feels like things are siloed, and it feels like things are bear market, but there's a bull market somewhere. I think that's kind of just like how.
Where's the bear market though? Like Solana was $8. BNB is at all-time high, $854. Ethereum's 4,470. Its previous all-time was 4,600.
Yeah, I would say it's like we're in a consolidation period rather than like a bear market.
But I'm just saying these prices are astronomical. These are like literally bull market prices. Everything's at all-time highs. Like I don't know where, like if people weren't able to make money, like with everything going on all-time high, how would they be able to make money now?
Yeah, it feels like the altcoin sector has had a lot of very quick rises and very quick downfalls. Like if you look at the AI sector, that's the one I look at. It seems to be the most volatile. Like we saw Tensorium go up, hit its all-time high, come back down to the low, go back and hit the all-time high, come back to the low. And then we migrated to Hustle, and it's like massive all-time high, right? And then big correction. And it seems like a lot of the altcoins are very similar in that way. Maybe that's why it feels like a bear market, because the rotation happens so fast across all these different markets now that people are not able to rotate and they lose all their money, right? And then now they're just kind of back holding nothing.
I agree. Like the velocity of some of the retraces and the buildups has been pretty significant. But like this is crypto, like it moves fast, and like I don't know. I think Adam's right. Nobody believes in anything, and like we're from a time of believing. So like I don't think that this cycle is that hard, but that's because I believe in things, and you know, we've had a long-term vision for a lot of these things, and those things were really obvious, you know. But I do think that there is still like the parabolic phase to come. I mean, I don't think that Tom Lee can go around saying that Ethereum is going to $60,000 to every investment firm on Wall Street, and like a quarter of them not buy or 10% of them not buy, and that leak into every other part of the market. You know, ETH was always the asset that lifts the entire ecosystem, and you know, I think the same is going to happen with Solana. So I do think that those have some significant multiples left, and then what's that mean for the rest of the market? I think it goes crazy.
Significant. I saw a rumor that Tom Lee was on Joe Rogan, or scheduled for Joe Rogan's show.
Yeah, one of my friends texted me that. He said this week. So we'll see.
That'd be pretty big.
Yeah, that'd be big for normies. I mean, like my thesis is most normies haven't even really heard, let alone understand what Ethereum is yet. So that'd be a big one.
Yeah, to say the least. It'd be cool. I still think, I mean, we called this literally like a year and a half ago. We were like, the bull market's gonna go until America's 250th birthday, which was July 4th, 2026.
I think that that's right. It seems right timing wise. I think we have to be careful going into the end of the year. There's so many funds that have been up, you know, they bought Bitcoin at 20,000 when the kind of ETFs were announced. It's at 110,000 with size. They bought billions of dollars. So got to be careful going into year end. But then May, I would be like extremely cautious. And that's like, you know, what do we have? Yeah, like 8-ish months, 9-ish months to be for it to really run. I think that sounds like a solid timeline where things can get pretty crazy and have a pretty significant sell-off.
Just got to survive until then. Do you think the 4-year cycle is over?
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, it's obviously there's only like 2 or 3 data points, but it just seems like enough people pose that question that it'll always be like positive reinforcing a 4-year cycle to some extent. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like that question always comes up, and then it puts this secondary thought into people's head, and then by nature they'll take some off the table at the 4-year cycle. So that causes like kind of an immediate sell-off just because people think it might.
Damn.
Yep, humans are humans, man. There's no getting away from that cycle, man.
Final thing I got is today's the first day of the football season.
Oh wow!
Got the Cowboys versus the Eagles.
Eagles.
Who you got?
Defending champs, baby.
Yeah, me too. The Cowboys are a mess. I wonder, something that I'm actually going to be looking for is to be following Polymarket and to see if their sports betting takes off. Sports has been kind of light on the platform, and I think if the prediction markets really want to eat into these like traditional, I guess betting companies like Caesars and MGM and Circa and stuff, you got to see this like on-chain volume increase. Maybe Kalshi is doing it because it's like it's an easier transition from using MGM Sportsbook to Kalshi than using MGM Sportsbook to Polymarket. But I see all these like prediction market posts over the last few weeks talking about prediction markets or the new launch pads and all this stuff, but the volume is still quite similar or quite the same on chain. Although I do see people building on top of Polymarket. I think sports is one thing that they would like to have and like to eat into from the traditional betting markets, although much tougher said than done. That is a significant lift because there is a lot of vendor lock-in and regulatory moat around that.
All right, so wait, who are we predicting for the Super Bowl? Let's get our predictions in. Super Bowl winner.
Well, I can obviously be biased and say the Broncos because that's my team, but you know, I hadn't really thought about it. I can always default and say the Chiefs because they're just Patrick Mahomes. You can't bet against him, but I don't really know. Let me look and see.
I'm gonna go with my with the counterintuitive breaking all cycles and say the Buffalo Bills.
Dude, that's your
Pretty
team.
good
Well, that's
team.
your team, right?
No, it's not my team. Team's the Jets, which
Oh.
have zero chance. But and Buffalo's real. My gut would go to Green Bay, but I'm gonna take my actual like real flyer, which is the Bills. They break their terrible tradition, never won a Super Bowl, and actually go out and win the big one.
I take like more obscure bets. Like I've been feeling like the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, training QB, second season, was a breakout rookie. Have like the DC cleanup. How many games is Trump going to go to? What's it going to look like for as a national centerpiece? I think that they have a new stadium on the horizon as well. So I'd go probably a further reach, but the Commanders to have a breakout season.
Wow, that's a real reach, but awesome pick.
That is a good pick. Let me see who else we have. So Buffalo, there's Baltimore is always a contender. Can Lamar Jackson finally three-time MVP finally get the job done? Who else are some sleepers here?
Green Bay
is a good one.
I mean, Green Bay's right there. I mean, Green Bay would be my number 2 pick.
Cincinnati, if they could ever figure out their defense.
No Eagles, no back-to-back Eagles.
Eagles is good. Maybe gonna get some. So they go back-to-back. So Chiefs go back-to-back, and then the Eagles go back-to-back. That would be quite interesting. I'm excited for the football season, though. This is gonna be a good one. Always fun out here in Vegas. Always Sundays are now. It's crazy growing up here when there was no football, and ever since the Raiders moved here, it's just insane over the winter. Vegas is packed in the winters now. It's kind of weird.
There's also like going to be a lot of people using just standard ChatGPT for their bets. So you can probably fade like a lot of ChatGPT plays, or at least like include them in some of your parlays for some like higher probability edge, because it's going to front load so much money on the money line that it's going to distort a lot of it. People are just going to be like, who's going to win the game tonight? They're going to be like Cardinals. And then a bunch of money is going to float onto the Cardinals. So you can get like higher probability on the other side.
Damn. All right.
That's the fucking alpha right there. Holy shit.
Don't fade Chris, man. This guy knows. I think we'll wrap it up here today. Always a good hustle show. Migrations still ongoing. Going to be a few weeks, and then it's time to party. Hustle. Got some partnerships. Talking with different blockchain foundations to see where we shall land. What type of incentives, right? We built a migration platform to incentivize teams to go to the right launch pads. I want to go to the right chain, right? Show me the money, or show me the support, just as everyone else would. And
last thing is that the company's never been in a better position than it is today. I mean, the viewpoint that we have is pretty nuts. Couldn't be more excited for like the next couple months to follow, and how Emblem and Hustle and Migrate Fund are going to grow alongside this crazy industry.
Crazy industry. We built it here. 10 years in the making. Or I think Emblem's 9-year anniversary is this month or next month. So congrats to Shannon for surviving 9 years with no VC funding and just completely building it. What a goat, dude. What a crazy.
Bro, that's literally impossible in crypto, right?
literally impossible. He's like the only one.
Literally, like it's like without VC funding, I would say that's probably the earliest company with completely self-funded this entire time. The only other early company I could think of is Munib's company. Started out as one name and then became Blockstack and then became Stacks, but they've raised like hundreds of millions of dollars. So literally, I don't know of any other companies before that. You could even say Emblem actually started in 2014 as the earlier chain, Loyal, which was then migrated to Koval on Bitcoin in 2016. So the migrations go as deep as the history of the company goes. Emblem actually started as a migration. So kind of funny to see how that always plays in full circle. Until then, I appreciate everyone for joining us. Make sure you're following the Agent Hustle account, the Migrate Fund account, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend.
Later, guys.
Later.